You are here because of the thumbnail that up there with the at night logo and saying people need the truth. I'll be asking others to tell the truth about things that I've been told for or have known for a long time. I don't know that Seth wants me to do anything for him, so
I was seeing that Julie was actually live, and unfortunately, you have to be subscribed to her for more than 2 weeks. So I sent her a text message, and then I tried to call her, and she's on the
Julie, Buckham and Feed and Beans, Julie?
Miss Goldman.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
You know, I don't understand what her problem is with me choosing who I work with. If she doesn't remember that her first live, she said that she had pictures of my son. And when I went into that first live of hers, she didn't have pictures of my son. Using nasty tape in my mouth while I'm looking for my son.
Right.
You know, it's nothing against her personally, but as a father looking for my child, when you throw your first live stating that you have pictures, new pictures, and you don't, I can't deal with that.
New pictures? She said she had new pictures of Sebastian?
You know, so, yeah, when her first live, I was there. I was there in chat. I subscribed and everything.
Oh.
But didn't have pictures of my son.
Oh, Kelsey said, yep, she was there.
And it was misleading to me, so I chose not to work with her.
I'm not doing anything for Seth. I'm doing this for Sebastian and for the truth. And it's stuff some things are obviously this lawsuit stuff came out, the truth about that. But also there's some other things that people have not been forthcoming about that I've known for weeks, maybe in some cases months, or month at least, or a month, maybe 2 months, depends on what it is. But I never say anything because, number one, these are people who, despite the fact that some of these people have not been a friend to me, I'm not here to hurt them. I'm not here to hurt anybody who acted like they were my friends, and then they weren't my friends, when they decided, when somebody said they're going to my skull, they want to be friends with that person. So it just showed me they were never my friends to begin with. But before that, I have to say, the question I'm going to ask, because I'm just going to ask as a question, because until people address it and say what is going on, nobody knows if it's true or not. And if what I'm suggesting is absolutely not the truth, please accept my apology in advance. But I've heard this from so many different people who don't even know each other. I feel like I have to ask the question, because if it turns out that it's true, people should know it. I feel like we're not being told the truth, okay? You come with the truth, and most of the time you show where you find it at. Yeah. And in the case of like reading you this lawsuit stuff and telling you about it, and that it's a freaking runaway train that is with Seth on it, a person who can get justice for his son, Sebastian, and is possibly the only one left, the only person left to get justice for Sebastian, is on this runaway train. And the conductors of that train have convinced him that he is on a safe train, and he is not. And there's others on that runaway train that don't know it's a runaway train either. Understand? Read the JLR posts and SF posts. Okay, yeah. I mean, JLR and SF, they're saying, you know, one is saying take Betty's house, take SF said take Brittany's house. I mean, it's just, I could show it to you. You could go on X, I guess, and see it for yourself. Okay. I haven't seen those posts, frankly. I did hear about the SF posts, but assuming those are true, you wouldn't tell me, Callie, you wouldn't tell me that those were true if they're not true. And you can't actually go right now to X and see it for yourself. Okay. So there's a way to verify it, right? I'm not showing you those X posts, but you could verify right now by going to X and looking at JLR and looking at SF and seeing what they say. I have literally nothing to gain by sharing personally, nothing to gain by sharing what or asking the questions to get to the bottom of what the hell is going on, and to make, if there's a creator on this channel that doesn't, you know, on the Sebastian, talking about Sebastian Rogers, no matter any sides, who at this point, I mean, like, everybody, like, I have no friends, like, there's nobody. It's just, you know, I'm not going to gain any friends with this either. I think sometimes people just watch me just to see what I know. I know a lot, okay? I know a lot of getting justice for Sebastian, literally slipping through our fingers in real time. Your opinion is become a mess, and Seth doesn't even understand or see that. And I'm not here to hurt Seth. And I agree with you. I think he is convinced he is in charge of this. I think people have allowed him to believe he is in charge of this. Nor would any of us be, frankly, for the level of sophistication in regards to deceiving people as some of the people who are surrounding him right now. Seth believes everybody there is trying to help him. And you know what? The truth is that in the beginning, they did help. Remember, when Dog and At Night came into this case, people it was getting to the point where I was vulnerable people who are easily taken advantage of. 1,000% gymnastics, 1,000%. And as an autism parent, I can tell you that from the first diagnosis you get, there'll be people coming up to you trying to be snake oil salesmen and tell you they can cure the autism in your child. All they have to do is go in this clay bath or take all these things out of their diet and take these special, capsules and or put these salts in their bath, or put them in, or inject them with things. Literally, there will be people, snake oil salesmen all around you. going to ask this question. And the reason I'm going to ask this question again is because I've been told this by so many different people who don't know each other. And everybody who said it to me said the same thing. Don't tell anybody, right? Don't tell anybody this. And I don't want to tell anybody. And I have no way of verifying it. I need the people who are being talked about to just be upfront and say yes or no. That's it. Okay. If we're wrong, or not we, it was brought to me. I didn't seek this out. I didn't do a family tree on any of these people. Okay. You know who I do family trees on. Okay. This is what I'm going to ask the question about. Are people I have not done a family tree on. Please know, I have not done a family tree. I have no way of verifying this. Well, I could have a way of verifying it, but I have not tried to verify it because I'm just going to ask the question because I've heard it from so many people. And then I'm going to tell you about this lawsuit, what they're not reading to you, what you're probably not downloading for yourself and reading the words of the judge or judges, and how ridiculous it would be to file an appeal on this lawsuit that is an embarrassment. You've heard they have to pay legal fees to the defendants. That's so bad. And you know what else, Holly? If they file an appeal, that will be more legal fees that the defendants have to pay their lawyers. And the amount of money just keeps going up and up. If they currently owe, let's say, $50,000, $100,000 total, let's just throw a number out there, to each defendant, Granny's Watching and Barbecue Lady, let's say they each owe their attorneys $50,000. It would be $100,000 plus expenses and things like that. You know, I mean, it could be more than that. But discussion is simply that. And if they file an appeal, just double it. Just double it. And guess what's going to happen? You know, these people who are suggesting who they go after. Listen, the lawyers that Barbecue Lady and Granny's Watching aren't listening to what JLR and SF have to say about who they should get money from. But my guess is they will go for the lowest hanging fruit, meaning the people they could get the money from the quickest with the least amount of fight. So let's say they were going to, if Lesniak has insurance and the insurance, whatever, but there's a chance that Lesniak would fight them, or Dog the Bounty Hunter would hire lawyers to fight it. So it would only rack up the bill more. But in the end, people like Seth and the others will be on the hook for it, because they could just, whatever assets they have, they will just seize it to pay themselves. And it will just make the lawyers rich. Yeah, it will make lawyers rich. And people will feel like people have withheld conflicts of interest. Okay? So here's the question, and I'm sorry, because these are people who I believe are, well, let me just say one more thing. I'm sorry. I don't think any of the creators or true crime creators, or anybody who cares about Sebastian, or even anybody in my chat, would have thought a year ago that a year later we would be here talking about the things in this case, still talking about him, still talking about this case, and all the bad things that have happened in the last year. If we had known a year ago, if I had known last April that a year later, I would still be talking about a case, and there would be all these people who are, this is the thing. None of us would ever have thought that we would be here at this point. And I don't think any of us would be, maybe some of people like me wouldn't have ever chosen to put themselves in the position that I feel like I am now in, where people are not divulging truth. Good people, nice people, okay? People that you and I have both trusted to and came into this with totally perfectly good intentions. And Dog the Bounty Hunter and his team, I believe, came into this with good intentions to bring attention. And if they could have found Sebastian the first week, they would have been thrilled. But as things have progressed, it's changed. And people have, I don't want to say people have changed, but things have just gotten bad. They've gotten bad. I don't have to tell you this. Okay, here it is, like about family and things like that. If it's not necessary, if they were going to find Sebastian the week in a week, you know, Mr. and Mrs. E and Aunt E, do you have a family relationship with Nick the Hat from At Night Media? Are you like Mrs. E and her sister or something, or whatever? Are you related to Nick the Hat? Michelle Lee and friends of Michelle Lee have said that they have known Tony for a long time, or a while, or since a previous case he worked on. I believe there's people who work with him directly, okay, or at night. So yeah, like, it's messed up. It's seriously messed up. And there's a lot more to tell you guys with regard to Tony, okay? Spill the tea. With regard to Tony, I'm going to have to do a whole nother live on him, okay? Because I'm just going to show you what I got, and you make decisions for yourself, okay? This will be things, evidence, documents, articles, and you make your own decisions about him. All right? That's all I'll say. If I wasn't hated before, you know, by these people, I mean, who knows? Maybe Sally wants to do another live talking about rolling my skull, or have my skull rolled, or whatever she said. Curse me the F out and stuff like that. Or Tony wants to challenge me to debate him on Josh the Labs live again. I don't know. I don't think he tells the truth. I don't think he tells the truth, and I'll tell you why. He says you should prove it. He wrote on my chat that then they would have gotten answers. Yeah, hell yeah. He says, you have no proof. I bully the shit out of you. You don't have any proof. Da, 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 da. Okay. Whatever you say, Tony. All right. Whatever you say. I'm just going to present the facts as I know them. You can listen along with everybody else. And if you think I'm saying something that's a lie, you can do whatever you feel that you need to do. But if I just show documents and newspaper articles and let people to decide for themselves, which is different about the question with the E's, okay? It's just bizarre why they don't do the things. And that's why I want to have the conversation with my friend who's the Harvard lawyer, because I want to know, why the hell are